Dear partner teachers, I'm so excited to be sharing with you today. I'm called Walter Okulo. I work for Field of Hope as the Ugandan country coordinator. Ahead of your trip, we thought of identifying a few areas that we think would be of interest to you. And in particular for today, I'm going to be talking about some of the customs and culture in our country. So kindly allow me share with you on my screen. I've just prepared a small presentation for you. So, Uganda is really rich in culture, and it has diverse, tribes coming from four ethnic groups. That's Bantu, Nilotes, Nilohamites, and the Hamites. So, as a country, we have a coat of arms, as you can see on the left. So there are various features that are embedded there, and they all have meanings. So I'm going to walk with you through some of the meanings. So at the top, you can see the mark of a river, and at the bottom, the mark of also water flowing. And that symbolizes the abundant water that we have in Uganda. So we have Lake Victoria, which is the second largest freshwater lake in the world. We also have River Nile, which originates from Uganda and is actually the longest river in the world. Then, two, you have the Cobb, which is to the extreme left. That actually symbolizes the abundant wildlife that we have. So we have a lot of wildlife in the nature, and quite a number of game parks with the various types of animals. Then the other feature, as you can see at the bottom, there is the crops. So there's cash or the cotton, which is at the bottom, and I think some coffee. So that just symbolizes our economy, which depends or mostly on agriculture, and in particular on coffee and cotton. Then we have the sun that's in the middle. So that symbolizes the abundant sunshine that we have in our country. And we have the drum that's, I think, below the sun. It's used as a symbol of, or dance or for celebratory purposes, more especially for traditional events. Then we have the sword at the top, which symbolizes protection. Then the sun actually have repeated, so we said it symbolizes abundant sunshine, but then also Uganda is located on the equator, so that's also what the the sun symbolizes. Then we have the bird, that's the crested crane, which is our national bird. And the motto down there is for God and my country. So as a country, we put God first, and other things follow. So in this next slide, we have the flag. So the flag has three stripes. That's black, then yellow, then red, with a crested crane embedded in the middle. So the black symbolizes the skin color or the native ethnic groups of Africa. Then yellow symbolizes the sunshine, which I talked about in the previous slide. Then the red symbolizes brotherhood, or the blood through which everyone is connected. And the crested crane, of course, is our national emblem, and it's chosen because of its grace and humility. But it's also fair to say that it has literally all the three colors that are on our flag. So, what kind of music do people listen to? Uganda is a very vibrant country, and because we also have about 7% of the population being youth, that means they go with the current trend. Okay, so you'll have different age groups preferring different musical tastes. So in terms of variety, we have the local songs and traditional songs that are produced locally from region to region, depending on the culture. So those ones are also very popular. Then we have hip hop and R&Bs that are mostly loved by the youth. Of course, they're trying to catch up with the trend, so they tend to copy a lot from the Western world. Then also very popular currently is West African music. I think West Africa has taken it a notch higher in terms of music. So we have Afrobeats and Amapiano, which is the current trend. Then there's also a popular kind of music called rumba or lingala, which is from Congo. Congolese are really they're credited for inventing songs, and they have done a lot in terms of music industry here in Africa. Then Uganda also being a Christian country, so there are lots of gospel songs. So we have many gospel singers that do release these songs quite often. Uh, let's talk a little bit about the types of food. So as you come to Uganda, just be rest assured that you're going to have experience with a variety of food. Uganda is actually the food basket of East Africa. So we have a lot of foodstuffs, and they vary from region to region. So talking of the region, uh, the central region, which is predominantly the Bantus and also the southern and western region, so their staple food is actually plantain, which is cooked and mashed. So it's a popular food, and they can eat with literally every sauce. And if it's not part of the meal, they assume you have not treated them well, or if you invited them for that meal. And for eastern and northern part, their staple food is mainly millet, sorghum, and also cassava. Okay, so the millet and sorghum, they use them for making bread, but then cassava, they eat them when it's boiled. So that's popular in eastern and western, and northern, I mean. So, but other parts of Uganda, of course, they also have their own staple foods. However, rice and cornbread, they tend to cut across. They're quite popular in all the regions. And so wherever you go, at least there's a chance that you'll find rice and cornbread. However, in terms of sauces, uh, so we don't tend to vary a lot because uh, all the sauces are found across the country, and they are loved by literally all its regions and tribes. So, but popular, you find pulses that include, or beans, or green gram, or the African pea, and all that. But then other sauces such as meat sauces, and also fish are quite popular in all these regions. And you will also be able to find a lot of fruits. And trust me, uh, you will eat the best fruits of your life when you're in Uganda. Please don't go without testing out bananas and pineapples. At least those two, like they will give you a picture of how rich we are in terms of fruits. But we have abundance of these fruits, and we eat them when they're fresh. Just pick from the tree and eat right away. So that's what's popular in most parts of the country. Then, but in particular, I love what my favorite sauce is, sweet potatoes with a pasted malakwang sauce. So malakwang sauce is actually a native vegetable, which is cooked, then pasted with peanut paste, and it's so nice. I like it so much. So, a little bit about sports. So, Uganda is also vibrant. Like I told you, we have a lot of youth who are engaged in quite a number of these activities. So, top on the chart is actually football. Soccer is what we call a soccer, is so popular. So, we have local teams. We also have a few players who are doing international. That means they're playing in other countries for other clubs. But also we have a national team that is very, very vibrant and competing at a regional level in terms of soccer. Then followed by that is volleyball, which is also popular. We have basketball, which is popular, netball for the girls, and board games. However, it's also fair to say that most of these games we have competitions for them at school levels. Okay, so uh, I think as you come on second term, or we shall be having athletics, which I didn't put here, I think, for mostly the secondary schools. That happens in second term, and that will find when you're around. Uh, as you come to Uganda, there are some traditions that you have to be aware of. Like I said, we are so diverse. We have four ethnic groups, but then we have over 50 or over 50 tribes. And that means there's a lot of variation in terms of culture, norms, and mention it. But among some of the things that you are likely to see is, first of all, greetings. So whenever there's handshake, just know it's going to take a little longer than normal, and it's okay. It's just the way it's done here. It's not in bad faith. So I just want to bring to your attention ahead of time so that you're not surprised. Then it's also popular that even someone you don't know or a stranger can greet you. Ugandans are very social, so for that matter, they feel it incumbent upon them to just greet whoever they meet, and it's part of our culture. And if you don't do that, sometimes we treat it as being disrespectful, or so. But it comes from them. It doesn't have to come from you. But it's a popular thing that you're going to see here. And whenever they greet you, it's okay to wave back and say hello, and all that. Then, being a Christian country, predominantly, of course, our faith is very strong. Or whenever you're in church, it's popular that you're going to find, a very vibrant church. Loud gospel music being or sung, people dancing, and just our way of worship and praise. So it should be a surprise. And if anything, you're free to join if you're comfortable. But that's something that's going to be seen quite a lot. And in terms of politics, so most of the political parties use hand gestures as their symbols. So the popular or political parties here is in the ruling government, that's NRM. Then we have NUP, that's a National Unity Platform, which is for the opposition, and others. So certain colors are attributed to those, like for yellow is for the ruling government, then blue is for another party, then there's red. But then also the hand symbol, as you can see, the use of thumb, that's actually for the National Party, the current ruling government. The fist is for the opposition, the main opposition. So sometimes those gestures may send signals depending on wherever you are, but you just have to be aware of what you do. But if you have any challenge, you can always consult, and we shall let you know whether it's appropriate to use that in a particular space. What do people do in the evening for fun? So Ugandans like socializing, and according to our tradition, it will for our forefathers, even ready to date, people still socialize in the evening where they come to a point and they drink their local brew. They could also drink porridge. They could play board games as they're catching up, okay, discussing also some important issues. So it's still a popular happening. And in terms of clothes and attire, so in the northern part of the country, which is less developed, people are more conservative. That means they're very mindful about how, or guests put up or how guests dress up. And for example, in the north, like if you are going to the community, if a woman puts on trousers, they see it as inappropriate. Okay, this is because the communities in the north are less educated, less exposed, so it's just a cultural thing. Unlike, or let's say, when you went to the central where people are more educated, they are more up to date, so like putting on trousers is seen as very normal. So this varies from region to region. However, uh, in certain functions or events, there are certain wares or special wares that people put on. Like the top one, you're seeing the gentlemen, like if they are going for an introductory marriage or a traditional marriage, that's what they put on, and it's really treated as an outfit of honor. Then also for women, you see what we call gomesi, or that's the picture below. So that's really what is attributed to people with substance and people with respect and all that. So you're going to see this quite a lot if maybe you ever attended certain or events. These are mostly applicable to events and all that. But then we also still have a touch of Western outfits, mostly with the youth and especially in the developed urban areas because they tend to keep up with the trend in the country. I mean, in the world. So what kids do for fun? Yeah, our kids are still pretty much outdoor and outgoing. They're vibrant. So some of them, spend their fun time by playing soccer barefooted, you know. So they also like watching sports, could be soccer, that's still also a popular thing. Others, like in the rural settings, they go to the swamp and they swim, and it's very normal to them. The water may not be that clean, but I mean, this like they find a lot of pride and joy in doing that. Others spend their time by, storytelling, or doing or telling riddles and all that. So oh, these are traditions that were inculcated by our forefathers, and some kids and some families still try to promote this. Then others participate in traditional dances, others rope skipping. Yeah, a lot of activities that I would say are a bit energy demanding. Of course, being young and energetic, it's just a normal thing for them to do. But that's pretty much it, what they do. So I think with this, I'll bring this to an end. But as a country is very vibrant, and I think it's going to be a rich experience for years to come. Ugandans are very hospitable, very welcoming, and you're going to like a lot about our food, the people, the nature, and climate. So I can't wait to host you, and or if there's any question, you shall be able to answer. Thank you so much.